What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we've got a build guide on Mirage. Mirage is the new hero in Deadlock. He's equipped with the ability to teleport, whether this be your allies or your enemies. He transforms the whole game with this ability because you can help your friends out who are in need, or you can just go look for the 1v1s. Mirage yields a single fire weapon that not only hits hard, but it also debuffs enemies, setting them up for significant damage when they reach a damage threshold. Now, navigating Mirage's abilities can be pretty challenging for newcomers due to his complex skill set. However, mastering his abilities and optimizing your item build can drastically enhance your effectiveness in the game. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you in this build video. Now, before we get into this video, if you guys could drop me a like if you are finding value in these build guides, I appreciate that a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already. Also, we're live on Twitch most afternoons. Swing by, give me a follow if you like what you see. Let's get into this video. Now, let's talk about the advantages and disadvantages as playing as Mirage. So his first advantage here is that he's an absolutely great character of fighting at range. When your abilities are on cooldown and you're not using them, you want to be poking the enemy with your weapon. Mirage has a very unique ultimate, allowing him to cover large distances on the map. They can feel a bit tricky at first to use, but whether it's a friend or a foe and you want to teleport there, you can give them a big advantage and win the fight. The next advantage here is Mirage's abilities have the fastest cooldown of the majority of heroes on Deadlock. And finally, Mirage has great damage output. He delivers 51 damage per second and bullet damage of 18, which makes his weapon feel very similar to Haze. Now, let's talk about the disadvantages as playing as Mirage. With his very unique kit, it makes it very hard to master in when to use your abilities. For example, a lot of his abilities are revolving around his teleport. The next disadvantage is he has slow movement speed with only 7 meters per second in movement. And the final disadvantage of Mirage, he has a slow fire rate to begin with, but obviously as the game goes on, you can buy items to counteract that. Now, let's talk about Mirage's item progression. So to start with, I always like to prioritize fire scarabs. Then to maximize DPS, I unlock Dejan's Mark, his passive. You want to get this ability as soon as possible because it's essential for amplifying your damage output right from the beginning. Each successful hit will increase the damage multiplier, making even the initial stages of the game impactful on your lane. I then like to put 1 point into his first ability, Tornado, as it's a great portion of your kit to have. Then, as soon as you can put a point into your ultimate, Traveler, you want to make sure this is unlocked because it's going to enhance your mobility and your positioning in the game. You then want to focus your ability points on fully leveling your passive, Dejan's Mark. This is going to maximize its effectiveness by increasing the number of stacks and also reducing the cooldown between multipliers, which is crucial for sustaining high damage output. Once you've maxed out Dejan's Mark, you want to put 2 ability points into Tornado to decrease its cooldown. This is also going to enhance your crowd control capabilities. You want to invest your next point into Traveler to improve its utility. And after that, you want to max out Fire Scarabs for increased sustainability and damage mitigation. Finally, you want to finish your ability upgrades by fully investing in Traveler, maximizing its utility to ensure you can maneuver effectively across the map to help your teammates in any situations they may need help in. Now, let's talk about Mirage's abilities. Mirage's first ability, Tornado. Tornado is going to transform yourself into a tornado that's going to go straight forward, damaging your enemy and also lifting them up in the air. After emerging from the tornado, you will gain bullet evasion, which will also increase by 25% once maxed out. The first talent point is going to give you 0.4 seconds of lift duration. The second talent point is going to give you minus 14 seconds on the cooldown. The final talent point, like I said before, is going to give you plus 25% bullet evasion once you've used the tornado. Mirage's second ability, Fire Scarabs. Upon activation, Fire Scarabs surround you and they could be launched one after another. However, you can only apply 1 scarab to the same enemy. Fire Scarabs often act as your little companions. They give you a little taste of wielding a new weapon for a few seconds. These work best on enemies that have a large health bar, so for example Abrams, who's tanky. They can become relatively easier to kill with your Fire Scarabs once they're upgraded. The first talent point is going to give you minus 15 seconds on the cooldown. The second talent point is going to give you minus 15% bullet resist. And finally, the last talent point is going to give you plus 70 max health steal. Mirage's third ability, and also his passive, Dejin's Mark. Your shots are going to apply an increasing multiplier on the target. So when the multiplier on the target expires, or you reach its max, it's consumed and the target suffers spirit damage and is briefly revealed on the map. The final damage is the base damage times the multiplier. The first talent point in this ability is going to apply an 80% slow for half a second whenever you apply a 2 times multiplier or higher. The second talent point is going to give you plus 4 seconds multiplier duration and plus 10 base damage. Final talent point is going to give you half a second cooldown between multiplier and 4 max multiplier. And finally, Mirage's ultimate, Traveler. This ability is going to allow you to target an ally or a visible enemy who's on the minimap and then teleport to where they are and your channel will start. Traveler is going to serve as Mirage's highlight ability, allowing him to cover large distances on the map. When used correctly, this can give you a huge advantage in the game. There are many ways of using this ability to your advantage, but it's worth upgrading early on to get its fullest potential as the game progresses. The first talent point in his ultimate is going to give it a 20-second cooldown. The second talent point is going to give you plus 2 meters a second in movement speed, with a duration of 4 seconds. The final talent point is going to give you a plus 20% in fire rate, giving you a total of 40%. Now, let's talk about Mirage's itemization. I like to start off with extra regen to get that health up. Secondly, I like to get a hollow point ward, as this item's going to boost Mirage's damage output really early on, making each attack harder against the lane opponents. I then like to follow this up by extra spirit, giving that boost of spirit power. I then like to go for ammo scavenger, giving you some bonus health and also 15% ammo. I then like to pick up close quarters and then high velocity mag, giving you more weapon damage and bullet velocity. And then the final item, sprint boots. So mobility is going to be key for positioning and also escaping potential ganks, making sprint boots a vital addition to Mirage's early game. So as we get into the mid game, prioritizing items that boost spirit damage and survivability become essential. My first pickup in the mid game is going to be Swift Striker. This is going to increase your fire rate and also give you a bit more ammo. I then like to pick up Quicksilver Reload. So I also attach this to my passive ability. So when the ability is used, your weapon is reloaded and it will also have a bonus fire rate for that clip. I then pick up Enduring Speed. This is going to give us a bonus sprint speed and movement speed. I then like to pick up Bullet Lifesteal. So this is going to give us 28% bullet lifesteal. I then like to pick up Improved Cooldown. So this is going to reduce the cooldown of our abilities and our items. Bullet Resist Shredder is a great mid-game pickup, as its passive is going to reduce the bullet resist on enemies when you deal your spirit damage. I then like to finish off the mid-game with some defensive items, so Spirit Armor and Fortitude for the bonus health. As we enter the late game, you want to shift your focus to maximizing Mirage's tactical flexibility and damage output. And this starts off by picking up one of Mirage's best items, Ricochet. Not only is this just going to give you an increase in fire rate, it's going to give you bonus ammo, bonus health, and the passive means your bullets will ricochet on enemies near your target, applying any bullet procs and dealing a percentage of the original damage. Another big pickup for Mirage in the late game is Spiritual Overflow. This is going to give you a 20% fire rate increase, plus 15% cooldown reduction, plus 10% spirit lifesteal, plus 225 bullet shield health, and the passive, you're going to gain bonus spirit power by charging up your bullets on enemy heroes. My next few pickups after this are going to be Pristine Emblem, Burst Fire and Point Blank. All of these abilities are going to increase your weapon damage, your fire rate, and give you bonus health. Crippling Headshot is also a good pickup, as the passive is going to reduce the target's bullet and spirit resist. I then like to pick up Superior Cooldown, as this is going to drastically reduce the cooldown of your abilities and your items. My final few pickups here, Surge of Power and Inhibitor. Inhibitor is going to give us 25% weapon damage and plus 175 bonus health, and the passive applies a movement slow on our bullets and reduce the target's outgoing damage on hit. So, in conclusion, I think mastering Mirage in Deadlock just depends on your understanding of his abilities and how to use them in your gameplay. So hopefully this guide has provided a solid foundation for you to understand Mirage. As you play him a bit more and more and understand his playstyle, you'll find him to be a very versatile and powerful hero. I've seen a lot of reviews on him online, and the initial thoughts are he's not very good, I can't really understand him, and people aren't liking him. But I think if you really do understand his kit and use it correctly, he can be one of the most powerful heroes on the game. Mirage offers such a dynamic and rewarding experience, so if you're not getting that yet, just keep experimenting until you do. Try different strategies, try different builds, and hopefully you will get on with one of them and find your own playstyle with Mirage. That's going to be a wrap on the build guide video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please let me know, drop a comment below. If you've got any suggestions for any more character build guides, let me know also, because I will be making them in the future. But anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.